Hey everybody, sorry I haven't been able to do any videos lately. It's the start of Christmas season and it's also been really cold for the start of the winter, and I haven't gotten out to do any trips, but I have been working on some equipment improvements that I want to share with you. I've got a 12 volt electric blanket I want to try out, and a 12 volt coffee pot that I've had for a little while, and an inverter that I picked up, and I'll also show you an improvement I made to my cooler. So let's check this out, and let me know if you have any other suggestions about it. So this coffee kit's pretty cool. You can see it's got its own spoons, and it's designed for 110 and 12 volt. Comes with some kind of bracket I have no idea how to use, and a couple containers for sugar and coffee and whatnot. Its own set of cups and a scoop, and there's the adapter, like that. 110 goes in there. And here's the coffee pot's plug with the 12 volt adapter. The outside temperature during this is about 39 degrees Fahrenheit, but hopefully this setup is powerful enough to boil the water. Well, the results were disappointing. After a good 20 minutes I gave up. The pot was just slightly warm. Here you can see I can still touch the top. I can even stick my fingers in the water. My next test was with a new inverter I picked up at a truck stop. I figured that perhaps the inverted 110 from the van would be powerful enough. The inverter is made by PowerDrive, and you can see here some of the specs for it. Let's see how well this setup works. Well, this too was a disappointment. After just 10 minutes I bailed. So far I'm not a believer in the 12 volt coffee pot. At the end of the day, I ended up picking up this coffee pot from Bass Pro Shops. Now let's see how it does with a classic propane stove. Alright, so now we'll try the new coffee pot out. Just trying this on a rainy day. You can see here it's just coming down. And it's a good test too to see how it's going to work with the back door open, and we'll do this under there. I'm getting dripped on a little bit on the right side, but mostly because of the wind. Hopefully this is the right way to make it, and I'll try it without a filter. If anybody has any thoughts on the best way to do this, let me know. Of course you do need that. Let's get our burner going. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see it perking or not, but it took 15 minutes out here with this wind and cold and rain blowing. Near the end I finally got a piece of sheet aluminum that fits almost perfectly. I think I'm going to cut this a little better, actually use this. But that was the ticket. It kind of blocked the wind there and brought it home. So 15 minutes, 41 degrees, rain that's got a light wind blowing it around. Kind of cold out here. But I'm going to let it perk for, say, 3 minutes and see how it tastes. And I'll see if that's good enough. Alright, and now for the taste test. Oh geez, that's hot. I just burned my mouth. It tastes pretty good though. I guess it's just all in how much you want to perk it. So more is stronger, and but 3 minutes is good for me. Well, next I wanted to try out my electric blanket. These things are pretty cool. We actually found it at a truck stop, and my wife and I had a lot of fun looking at all the 12-volt appliances. There's even 12-volt, you know, casserole dishes and little ovens, things like that. So, you know, if you're curious, stop at a large truck stop sometime, and you might be amazed what you find there. So yeah, let's give it a shot. The blanket is also made by Road Pro. This family looks pretty excited to head out on their winter adventure. I hope they're not all planning on sharing the same blanket though. It's just not big enough for all 4 of them. Alright, well, here's the blanket. It's all set up and ready ready to try out for bed tonight. And we'll see how it works. I've got it all plugged in. You can see I've got the van window covers on, and got a front curtain set up. And we'll see how this goes. It's in the upper 30s, and there's a stiff north wind blowing, so it's going to get colder through the night. We'll see how warm we stay. And this is where the plug goes, just in the front. It says that it's on. I've got the key in just one setting, but we'll see how well it works. So the blanket was pretty impressive. I stayed up with it for a while, watched some movies, and it kept my legs warm. I didn't use a sleeping bag at all. And you know, I would rely on it in cases where you know you have enough power and you need to get warmed up pretty quickly. Or maybe you're traveling and somebody likes their car cold. You could plug that thing in and stay warm, you know. I did, in the middle of the night, I did put my regular sleeping bag on, but I did keep the electric blanket on top just to see how much battery it would drain. And for my regular van battery, it did drain it by morning. I couldn't start the vehicle and had to recharge it. So I wouldn't rely on it all night unless you had a good battery bank. But yeah, I would invest in one. I'm glad I got one, and they don't cost that much either. So yeah, see what you think. So I wanted to solve the problem of this cooler's power cord. It's supposed to all wind up and go in here. There's a little thing that the end of the plug goes in, and you're supposed to bundle it all up and stick it in there. It barely fits, and it's very annoying. Falls out a lot and that kind of thing. So what I'm trying is adding little bits of Velcro, and then I'll just Velcro this, snake it around on the outside, and we'll see how this works. Simply cutting my Velcro into little strips like this. one of them just glues to the outside of the cabinet, and the other I'll put around the cord. So here's the finished product. As you can see, I had to snake it quite a bit and around up and use some of the other side, and then was able to use the plug that's still there. And the cool thing with this is you can just take off the amount that you need to plug. We'll see how well this works. Alright, this sun is really rough, so I'm going to try to do it right here. Is this any better, or is this terrible? Is this sunny? Testing 1, 2, 3. Is this looking good? Is it out of angle? What are we doing? Okay, how does the lighting look now?